me, stealing money from offline users. So go ahead, Fabio, and help me thank him for coming, or welcoming.
Thank you very much. What the hell is a boleto? If you already worked in a virus lab analyzing samples sent by your users, I'm quite sure you already saw this word or this name in a Brazilian malware file. What the hell is a boleto? Well, a boleto, it's a almost 40-year Brazilian popular payment system. It is very popular in the country. How much popular? Well, 21% of all the payments made in the country in 2011 were made with a boleto, or boletos. In 2012, 18% of all the online sales were made with boletos. It is extremely popular in Brazil because it's simple. You just print it and pay. Someone can print it for you, or you print in your house while you are buying something online and you pay it. This is a boleto. If you haven't seen one before, this is a typical Brazilian boleto according Wikipedia. This image was published there, and boleto have some parts. Here in the top you have the issuer bank and the ID field. It's a 44-digit ID field that identifies. Each boleto has a different number. You have the due date, the value you pay, a barcode, and the customer data. What could possibly go wrong with this kind of payment? What could go wrong? Well, a lot of things. This is my presentation, Pwned by a barcode, stealing money from offline users, the untold story, killing the FUDs.
Agora nós vamos mostrar como funciona um golpe que a polícia está chamando de Deus. Você já ouviu falar? As vítimas são consumidores que fazem compras pela internet e que optam por pagar a conta com um boleto. A fraude ocorre no momento da geração desse boleto. Os hackers alteram o código de barras e desviam o dinheiro para a conta deles. O que a gente precisa prestar atenção é que os golpistas só conseguem fazer isso através de um vírus que eles enviam para os nossos computadores por e-mail. Fique atento.
Há um mês, Cláudia teve uma surpresa. Um dos fornecedores da empresa dela parou de enviar os produtos. Quando foi verificar por quê, descobriu que foi vítima de um golpe.
No dia 25 de julho, o meu fornecimento de material foi cortado. Aí eu liguei para o fornecedor para perguntar o que tinha acontecido e eles falaram que eu não estava acusando o pagamento de 14 boletos. Aí eu emiti os comprovantes, aí eles foram averiguar, e nisso eu já entrei em contato com o banco onde eu fiz os pagamentos, foi onde eles entraram em contato comigo, o pessoal do banco, falando que eu tinha sido vítima de uma fraude.
A empresária tem o hábito de pagar os fornecedores por geração de boleto online. Em julho, ela entrou no site da empresa fornecedora, que a direcionou para o site do banco e gerou 14 boletos. Só que ao atualizar esses boletos, o código de barras foi alterado por um vírus. E ao pagar, ela transferiu R$183 mil para a conta de um golpista.
Eles vieram um original e eu tive que atualizar online. E durante essa atualização eu entrei dentro do site do fornecedor. O site do fornecedor me gerou um código de geração de pagamentos para recalcular os juros desse boleto. Encaminhou, o site do fornecedor encaminha para o site do banco, onde é emitido o boleto, e lá é que ocorre a fraude. Eles calculam os juros tudo certinho, só que o código de pagamento para onde vai o excedente cai para uma conta fraudulenta e não para a conta do fornecedor.
O crime é chamado pela polícia como golpe Zeus e fez pelo menos 5 vítimas no estado. De acordo com a Delegacia Especializada em Repressão aos Crimes de Defraudações e Falsificações, o vírus tem acesso ao computador da pessoa pelo e-mail e ainda tem o poder de monitorar todas as transações e pagamentos feitos via online.
She was victim at a big amount. $80,000. Could you imagine? It's a lot of money. Well, a boleto bancário, simply referred as boleto, it's very typical from Brazil. I've heard in Italy they have something similar called bolletino bancari, but it's not common in other parts of the world. It's issued by stores, online retailers, government, banks, and all kinds of businesses in the country. And you can pay it in any bank. A boleto can be paid also in an ATM machine, in branch facilities, internet banking, of any bank, post offices, lottery agent, some supermarkets, until its due date. After the due date, you can only pay it in the issuer bank. It's extremely popular. For example, FIFA during the World Cup in Brazil, they choose to sell the World Cup tickets using boletos because it's extremely popular. You can pay it in a bank using a barcode reader, this one, or you can pay it using your mobile, your smartphone. This is a user scanning a barcode and paying this boleto. But the most interesting part of a boleto is the ID field, the 44-digit ID field, and the barcode. The barcode represents exactly what is in the ID field. And this ID field, it has a lot of information. It, for example, has a unique number that points the exact bank account that will receive the amount when the boleto is paid. We receive the money. It has, for example, data of the bank that issued the boleto. The nosso número, it's our number. It's a number to identify the bank account that we receive the money. It has some checksum data and also the value and the due date when the user needs to pay it. Well, what Brazilian bad guys are doing, they are invalidating the barcode, adding some blank spaces here, so the barcode can't be read, and changing the ID field. This is what Brazilian malware are doing. This is another typical Brazilian boleto. The malware are changing the real ID number for another one that points to another bank account controlled by the bad guy. And this account will receive the money when the user pay it. And of course, changing the real barcode for another one injected by the malware. That's what they are doing. I'm sure you saw it in the media in June when RSA published a big paper and talked about Brazilian boletos. I'll talk about details about their RSA publication in a few minutes. Well, this is the malware. Simple. The malware are doing web injections. Brazilian bad guys, they learn how to do web injections in the correct way. That's it. This is the malware injecting, injecting data in the web browser sections. And the browser communicates with a CNC, and there the malware receives some data to inject it in the boleto when it's generated in the browser, because most of the boletos are generated online today or using some software. They use a browser to render in HTML and generate this boleto. So it's like SpyEye, it's web injection. And this is the CNC. The malware sent a request to a server and received this response. This is very interesting. The first sample of boleto malware we found in the wild in April 2013, 1 year, more than 1 year. So a colleague from Moscow wrote me a message asking me, hey Fabio, we have here a Brazilian malware. We know it's malware, but it's strange because it communicates with a CNC and all the malware receives, it's a big line full of numbers. And nobody knows what is it. What is it? And when I saw the malware analyzing the file, I realized it. It's a malware that changed boletos because this format of number, it's typical from Brazilian malware that changed boletos. And this is the images of some CNC Some of them answer or send to the malware not only the new number, but also the new barcode. Or some simple, just a big line of the new number that will be injected in the Boleto. And of course, this is the control panel of the malware used by the bad guy. It has the date, the hour, the old ID field used by the Boleto, and the new one that was injected by the malware. It has the value and the origin where this Boleto was generated. The bad guy wants to know it to do some quality control where the users are or in which website they are to generate this Boleto. This is what you've heard from the RSA story. But there is more, much, much, much more. This is what RSA published in their paper in June. What's more, we are living in interesting days in Brazil, interesting times, because we are living a big migration of the Brazilian cybercrime. Most of the Brazilian bad guys that work with Trojan bunkers, you probably know it. I talked several times about it and published a lot of articles. They are moving all their infrastructure. They are moving all their efforts to attack Boletos. Why? Because it's more profitable, of course. They're stealing a lot of money. And we can find crime war kits that attacking Boleto. They are available over Facebook. You can buy it really cheap, costing only $250. It's very cheap. Here is the image of a bad guy selling this crimeware kit that changes Boletos over Facebook. And they are really quickly adopting new techniques to spread the malware and infect more users. So forget about that old and big Delphi Trojans. Everybody here knows the Brazilian bad guys create really big Trojan bunkers, generally in Delphi or Delphi, and they evolve it. They are not using anymore. They evolve it. And why they evolve it? This is really something interesting in the Brazilian scene. And here we have an image of a control panel used for bad guys. It was from 2012. And they used this kind of panel to control the machines infected with Trojan bunkers. But right now, this infrastructure was adapted to attack Boletos. So they are using the same tricks, the same attacks to target Boletos. And why they are evolving? Because they are in constant cooperation or in constant contact with bad guys from Eastern Europe. Mainly bad guys from Russia, Ukraine, and other Russian-speaking countries. This, for example, is a Brazilian bad guy posting a message in the Russian underground forum asking for data. And they are posting in Russian, of course using online translator, but they are in constant contact with these bad guys from Europe. And here, another Brazilian bad guy selling an ATM hour. Or here, another Brazilian bad guy open to business. And this contact with European bad guys made the Brazilian bad guys evolve a lot. They are creating more attacks, more sophisticated malware. And of course, this is natural in the cybercrime scene. And this is what they are doing. But they are not only cooperating. Brazilian bad guys are using the infrastructure from the European bad guys. We have, for example, here some CNC of the Boleto malware hosted in Russia. Hosted in hosting service, bulletproofing hosting services. Or here, this is a fake Boleto website created to recalculate the Boleto, and all hosted in Russia, in bulletproofing service. Or this bad guy, this Brazilian bad guy, João de Santo Cristo, he registered 14 domains and hosted everything in Russia. Everything in Russia. So they are using the infrastructure of the bad guys from Europe. Or this one, this is a fake website, also that promises to recalculate a boleto, but it's hosted in Russia as well. So this cooperation with European bad guys, the impact, the result in the Brazilian malware is they are evolving. They are adopting new techniques in their malware. Of course, this is natural. And we have some other clear sign of this cooperation. Brazilian bad guys, they are adopting the same techniques used by Zeus. We saw in the TV video, in the beginning, the police are wrongly calling it as Zeus. It's not exactly the Zeus as we know it in Europe, that target Europe and US. But this contact with European bad guys, the result is they are adopting these new techniques. For example, they are using encrypted payloads sharded with a 32-bit key and compressed by zlib, and using some extensions of non-executable files such as JMP, BCK, ENC, and the payload downloaded by the dropper, it's totally encrypted, such this one. This is a JMP file, totally encrypted. Why they are doing it? To bypass filters and so on. It's the same technique Zeus are using in Europe and US. And after the files are downloaded, it's decrypted. And so you can see here the normal executable file. This is a technique they're copying from Zeus. Another interesting technique they are using, they are doing man in the middle using Fiddler. Fiddler, it's a well-known tool, probably used by a lot of guys here. They are installing the Fiddler core in the infected machine, and they are using man in the middle because they want to change boletos generated in SSL pages, in HTTPS pages. So this is the malware. The malware is ready to change boletos, and this is the Fiddler core. They are installing some SSL certificates in the system because they want to do this man-in-the-middle attack. And they want to change boletos generated in HTTPS. They are evolving. They are copying these techniques from Europe and quickly adopting in Brazil. But another interesting fact about these attacks is the attacks against network devices. I presented here in 2012 a series of attacks against DSL modems. They did in 2011 and 2012, where more than 4 million DSL modems were attacked in Brazil. They are doing a remote attack, changing the DNS configuration of these DSL modems. This is still a big problem in Brazil. There are some DSL modems still vulnerable, and they are still doing it. They do a remote attack against the network devices, change the DNS settings, and there they are using this DNS connection to distribute Boleto malware. So here we have the URLs of popular services such as Google, Facebook, and other Brazilian websites, and all of them are pointing to executable files that, of course, do not exist, but exist in the machines and the network devices that was infected, that was changed by the malware, and a new DNS was configured on it. When they are not attacking the network devices, they are doing DNS poisoning against the ESPs. We have a big ESP in Brazil called NetVirtua. Probably all the weekends they are victims of DNS poisoning attacks. They have 12 million customers. And a lot of customers are reporting they got redirected to phishing pages or fraudulent pages that promise to generate new boletos. Of course, these boletos are generated by this site, this website. It's fake, it's totally fake. Or sometimes the user are redirected to phishing pages, and this fraudulent boleto is generated. And if the user believes on it, print and pay, the user will be sending the money to bad guy's account. Well, but that's more. There's more, much more. They are targeting network devices and doing massive web-based attacks against home routers, using malvertising techniques, changing DNS settings, and redirecting to fake boletos. For example, we have here a really popular media outlet website from Brazil, Estadão, and they injected in the website some scripts. The script tried to guess the password of your home router. Of course, trying the default password, but if the script can't guess the password, it will prompt a box asking you to inform the password of your home router. It's an attack we know as, I forget the name, drive-by farming. It's a really well-known attack called drive-by farming. They are using it in Brazil when they are not compromising popular websites. They are using malvertising. Such this advertisement, they injected on it a script that tried to guess the password of your home router. And if it succeeds, the script will change the DNS. And of course, if the bad guy controls the DNS, it can redirect you to a phishing page or to a fake page. This is the script. This is the script that try default passwords. So could imagine a lot of home users that don't have a password configured in a home router or are using the default password. If the user visit a simple web page, the DNS is changed in the network device. And the user got redirected to phishing pages or to fake pages, mainly pages of Boletos. So it's not only malware. They are using a more online approach, aiming to reach more people and infect more people and steal more money. Well, most of the malware, the Boleto malware, affects Internet Explorer, installing a BHO, and the BHO will do everything, will do the injection. But we know Chrome and Firefox are very popular in the world. It happens the same in Brazil. So they are targeting Google Chrome as well. What's the best way to do it? What's the best way to attack Google Chrome? Using a malicious extensions with the blessings of Google. Why not put these malicious extensions in the official Chrome store? Well, this is exactly what they are doing. They are putting some malicious extensions in the official Chrome store. For example, this one promises bonus to your Skype account, or this one called Chrome Extensions Monitor, or this one to read documents online. It's all fake. But it's all hosted in the official store. And it's incredible how easy they are hosting these malicious extensions there. Each week I found one or two. It's really easy for bad guys to do it. What the malicious extension do? Exactly, change Boletos. And it's so easy to do it. But we found also some malware that are planning to change the way Chrome deal with extensions. We have, for example, this malware, Trojan Banker Clearwin.a. It's prepared to activate the developer mode in Google Chrome. And doing that, the malware can install any extension in the Google Chrome, doing the activating the developer mode in the user's computer. And Firefox is a target as well. They are also creating malicious extensions from Firefox. Okay, another interesting approach are fake websites, sponsored links, and they are using it. So to promote some fraudulent websites that promise to recalculate a boleto or to issue a copy of the boleto you have it. They are buying sponsored links on Google. Generally the words, they are buying the word boleto, so you can do a search in Google. The first result is a fraudulent website. And it's interesting because it also appears in Bing and other search engines. If the user believes, the user will enter in a really beautiful website made with a very professional design. And the website promises you to recalculate a boleto, because a boleto has a due date. If you don't pay it, you need to recalculate, to reissue a new boleto. This is what the websites are promising. But of course, it's entirely fake. And the new boleto generated by the website, it's fake. It will redirect the payment to another account. Well, a really common question I received from a lot of people: how much money was stolen? How many victims? You've heard from the RSA paper this amount of money, almost $4 billion. It's a big number, huh? In reais, Brazilian reais, it's bigger. It's almost 9 billion. Whoa, it's a big number. And this big number was published in New York Times, Brian Krebs, and a lot of media outlets. But I'm sorry to tell you, it's wrong. It's bad math. It's bad math from RSA. I'll show you why. The biggest Brazilian bank is Banco do Brasil. They are the biggest. Their profits in 2013 was $6.6 billion. So could you imagine bad guys stealing half of the money of an entire bank? Could you imagine? Of course, this number is really big, exaggerated. And I'm sorry, RSA, it was a big FUD. A big, big FUD. And I'll show you more why this is bad math. This is a control panel used by the bad guy to know how many boletos were changed. And it's really common in this control panel find duplicated entries, such this one, or testing entries, such this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know, maybe these entries were made by a malware researcher, or even by the bad guy testing the malware if the connection with the CC are okay. So what RSA did, they calculated all these values of the control panel they get access. And the result was that big number, almost $4 billion. It's incorrect. I'm sorry, RSA. This is not the way. But how much money they are stealing? In fact, we don't know. We don't have an official number. And of course, the banks are not talking or not revealing how much money they are losing with these frauds. They don't talk. We still don't have an official number. So we don't know. We know there are some cases where they are stealing a lot of money, for example, from that businesswoman we saw in the video in the beginning. But most of the attacks are small values. Small values, not big. So we still don't know how much money they are stealing from the users. Well, and to finish my presentation, how about protection? We are suggesting to companies to generate boletos in PDF files, because until right now, this Trojan can't change boletos generated in PDF mode. So this is what we are suggesting to companies to do right now. And for home users, we are suggesting a protection. For example, in our product, we have the Safe Money technology that can generate boletos in a safe way. And even if the machine is infected, the malware can't inject code in the browser session, generating a boleto in a secure way. Well, that's it. I'm publishing more details about this attack soon at securelist.com, and I'm open for questions right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabio. Actually, we're out of time. We don't have time for questions, but join me in thanking him.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.